What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with that instant analysis. We're going to be talking about Domantas Sabonis, a guy that was a two-time All-Star with the Indiana Pacers, didn't really work or fit well with the OKC team because he had a different role and a different identity back then and was able to establish his name and who he was and what he wanted to do and put in a lot of work to become an All-Star 2 years in a row for the Indiana Pacers. Obviously, I didn't really like this team around Sabonis because I didn't really think they was that good. And they did make the playoffs 2 years, and then the last 2 years, including this year, that'd be three almost. They didn't. So I kind of figured that this will happen. You don't really want to commit and pay a lot of money to a team that's not even in the playoff conversation, or even committing a lot of money to a team that's just in the play-in conversation, which is so far away from being a championship team. Although you do have to give credit to Sabonis for making the best of his situation, not making excuses, producing and doing whatever he could, whether the team was good or bad, and really performed at a high level. He did a great job, and I love what he did as a player. But I didn't look at him as a franchise player or a franchise cornerstone. I look at him more as a complementary player that, with his screen setting, his rebounding, his passing, and his ability to score a little bit, he's just a great player to have around other, elite players. The problem is he didn't have no elite players in Indiana. He had a lot of solid to great players around him, and that never really, turned into anything as we see. But that's the same problem I see right now with Sacramento. Sacramento was in a situation where everything they have tried didn't work. Even bringing back the same group, they got worse. Firing the coach didn't really help either. Plus, they did good in the draft, getting quality players in the draft, but a lot of those guys played similar positions and didn't make them significantly better either. Now they are getting the best player in his draft in his trade, but it don't make them significantly better because he's not a great defender, not a dominant go-to scorer, but he does give them an inside presence that they've been missing, and he does give them somebody that can create, make jobs and things simpler and a little bit more focused and easier than it was before he got there. And we still got to see what else they do with this team. I feel like this team is still trying to go in a different direction with Sabonis, and we have to give them some time to figure out what they're going to do with him and how they're going to put a good team around him. So the Pacers basically agreed to trade Sabonis to the Kings for, well, I'll just say it like this. The Pacers, including Jeremy Lamb, Justice Holiday, and a 2027 second round pick in Sabonis for Tyrese Haliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. Um, it do make more sense this way because one Jeremy Lamb hasn't been a great player. Justin Holiday is more of a solid role player, and you look at the fact that the Pacers are going in a rebuild mode, so having more guys that want a contract, want to play, want to compete, and now they go to a team that they can actually give depth to and possibly play for, or if they move on or get traded, they go to a team that actually can get something out of it. As the Kings are trying to go back for a playoff push, and obviously, like I said, the Pacers are going for a rebuild. So when you look at the fact that they get Hield, I definitely don't think Hield stays with the Pacers. Hield just more of a salary filler with Tristan Thompson and Haliburton to really be able to get rid of Sabonis. So I don't really see them really keeping Hield long term. But he's obviously a solid player, not great or amazing, but solid. Haliburton is a pretty good point guard that understands the game, can play both positions, can defend, can handle the ball, and is very high at intellect and decently aged, not great, and a solid 3-point shooter, but not a franchise changing point guard, but is a guy that can be a good backup and really does understand the game. And Tristan Thompson won't be on this team long term, really more or less to help make this trade actually go through contract wise. It's just a big body that's going to play hard and do his job, but won't be on this team long term, like I said, because this team is rebuilding, not trying to build with veterans at this point in Indiana. So those guys, Buddy Hield and Tristan, I don't really see being around this team that long. But they had to make the contracts work because they wanted Sabonis in Sacramento, so they had to figure out a way to get it done. And like I said, Sacramento do get better too because they get Lamb and Holiday in a 2027 second round pick, which just gives them more assets that they can move, whether they like them or not. They get to try them, whether they want to bring them off the bench, whether if they want to package them together to get a different player or trade them separately for picks that they can package to get another guy that they want in a draft or player. And then you look at the fact that it gives them more wing depth, something that they really lacked to me too. They didn't need more, small guards. They did need a little bit more wings, especially because they do lose Buddy Hield in this trade. And getting two guys that can be solid shooters, maybe not Buddy Hield level, but can still give you length and give you a little bit of shooting helps, especially when you do lose Buddy Hield completely, which is a guard that they won't be getting back. So you look at the fact that now they have De'Aaron Fox, who has had a down season, not the worst season, but a down season compared to the year that was a breakout year last year for him. This will make it easier. Give him a pick and roll partner. Give him somebody that can, give him lanes a little bit because Sabonis can space a little bit. Setting screens do allow him to get to the mid-range. It allows him to get to the basket. It allows him to be able to play, uphill a little bit too. And a guy that's unselfish, which is Sabonis, helps too. And they still got Harrison Barnes, who has been pretty solid this year. Still gives them a 3, so they can just move him to the 3 possibly. And then he can just give them space and a little scoring like he has. I still don't look at this team as significantly crazy or significantly improved or a team that really dramatically got better. But adding Sabonis for Buddy Hield and some role players, you're getting an all-star, even though it was in the East and he was, more of a vote in late. Obviously, it was an injury replacement type of all-star. He was a guy that can get you around 20 and 10. And that's something that they wanted from Bagley. That's something that they wanted in the middle, but they never could get. But like I said, Sabonis isn't a rim protector. He isn't this dominant force of a player, but he is an inside presence, something that they've been trying to get. And now they finally do get some type of version of it in Sabonis. Probably the best version that they could get for a team that we're still trying to figure out how they're going to put the team together, how they're actually going to try to get to the playoffs, what they've been trying to do but haven't accomplished. But at the same time, we still have to see what they do with the rest of this roster. Davion Mitchell was a good piece. Like I said, having guys like Buddy Hield and having guys like Tyrese Haliburton that just added more confusion. Some guys like Buddy wanted out for sure, and he just was waiting for his opportunity to get out, which he finally did. And you look at a person like Tyrese Haliburton that wanted to stay and change the culture, but was moved because he is an interesting young piece, which is part of the game like we done seen with these last 2 weeks. He gets moved. So, now you got Davion, who can now get more minutes and more opportunity, who is probably their best defender, especially on the perimeter. And you still do get Fox, who has been their best player the last couple seasons. And now you try to find a way to get that rim protector to protect that paint and just try to figure out who is that wing and that bench players that you need. But I don't really see this trade making them significantly better. I don't think this trade is making them over the top. I do think this trade makes them a little bit better than they was before because it's easier to find guards than it is to find a big that can really do so many things well. But like I said, they might fall into that Indiana situation where they might be good, they might be solid, but they won't be great or championship level. So that's where the Kings are still at. I don't think this trade changes it. I don't think it makes it better. I just feel like they still got to do some more roster reconfiguration to get a better roster in general to really help their chances of being a playoff team again. And even then, that could be the problem too, because that may be all that they are. They may be an Indiana where they may be a playoff team once or twice if they figure it out, and then they might be a playing team for a couple seasons, and then they'll be rebuilding all over again because they don't have a franchise-changing player. They don't have an elite level player. They're not a great defensive team. They haven't even been a great offensive team either compared to years ago where they actually had a legitimate shot to make the playoffs. But, they still got to figure those things out as they try to build this roster. So we'll see, 1 or 2 years from now how this team looks, with Sabonis and Fox or, if they decide to keep Fox. And, we'll see what happens with that. But the team, sounds good. It makes sense, and they get a little bit of what they want. But I honestly don't think they're done making moves. I think Sacramento, if you make a move like this, You got one or two more that you got to make this trade make more sense as a fit to really get a sense of what they're trying to do. Because they are headed to where Sabonis was with Indiana, where they will just be a playoff team and that's it, and maybe even a playing team at best. And then it's back to trying to rebuild and figure out what to do next. So that's where they're heading. That's where they're going. This trade pretty much shores that up. But we still have to see what they do with this team going forward to really judge it. Until it fails or succeed, we won't know until it plays out. But this is just the beginning, getting the trade done. Now we have to see how these guys fit on the court, how they play well, if they play well, if they play off each other well, do they fit well. We have to see all that the rest of the season and next year to really judge if this trade was really worth it. Right now, I say they're in the same spot, same place, but I still think they should make a couple more moves before the trade deadline is over to make more sense of a move like this. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis signing out. Other than that, enjoy the night. See y'all tomorrow. And like I said, I will be live streaming on Thursday for sure for the trade deadline special. So hope you guys look forward to that. See y'all later.